What's going on, Internet? Iron Jordan here. Today, we're going to talk about what I believe is the best deck in the Set 1.0 meta, at least in my opinion, and that is going to be Purple Trash Tempo kind of deal. But before we get started with that, I want to give a shout out to my local game store, Gamers Alley. As you can see, they have an online store with which you can order, video games. If you need card game products, they have Magic singles, Yu-Gi-Oh singles. They might have Digimon singles in the near future. They ship to anywhere in the United States, and they're an excellent LGS. They do have Digimon product in stock right now. However, they do have a hold on outgoing orders for a couple of days as they're going to try to get some product to the local players, but probably after this weekend you'll be able to order Digimon sealed product from them again. So just want to give them a shout out. They're an excellent LGS. They're not sponsoring me or anything like that. I just wanted to let you guys know that if there is a place that you're looking for Digimon card game sealed product, they will have it, especially after this Thanksgiving weekend. So give them a check. Check them out. All right, now to this deck list. This is what I have been playing. So we already did a purple deck list on the channel a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago, whenever we got the full card list spoiled for set 1.0. But since then, I've gotten some playtesting in, and this is the list I have come up with. Now, if you can remember the old list, I was rocking like a bunch of level 6s. I was rocking Millennium Mon in the list and all this other stuff, and it was weird. And I thought at first that it would feel pretty good, but then I started to playtest it with it, and I was like, Purple does not want to digivolve past level 4. Like, not really, honestly. And you want to hardcast a couple 5s and 6s, but other than that, like, Purple feels very low to the ground. It feels very tempo. It feels a little bit like Mono Blue in Magic. So if you liked that playstyle, which is honestly my favorite playstyle in Magic, it's why I've been a Mono Blue player for a long time in Magic, then you will really love this. It's got a little bit of dredge to it. It's got a little bit of reanimator to it. I just really like this deck, and we're going to go over why it's so good and why I think it's probably the best deck in the format in just a second. So, our Digitag is going to be 4 Pagumon. The game is probably not going to go late enough for you to need 5 Digitama, so we're only playing 4. It's just to keep the consistency. Also, I really hate shuffling the Digitama deck every game, so we're going to go with 4 Digitama, all the same, all Pagumon. He's just super good. He lets you get that mill when you attack as the inheritable. It's just really great. We got 2 Impmon. Now, this will change if I ever get some Beelzemons. Currently, I don't think the list really needs Beelzemon. I think that it actually kind of throws the tempo off a little bit if you play Beelzemon because you're not trying to, evolve too much. And if you do play Beelzemon in this deck, I think you'll play it at like 2. So if you do play Beelzemon, knock this Impmon up to 4 and maybe drop the Demidevimon down to 2. But the Impmon's pretty good. He has a on destroyed effect, you mill the top 3. Gabumon has an inheritable of when he's destroyed, draw 2, discard 1. It's just the best inheritable skill in the deck. This combined with Wizardmon is a crazy combo. You got Tapermon, who's the best reanimation target in the deck, just bar none. Your Night Raids and your Piedmons, this is what you're going to be targeting most of the time. When he's destroyed, you draw 1. And then you have a Demidevimon at 4 because he, simply put, guys, he's a 2 cost, 3k vanilla 3 drop, or level 3. So it's very easy to get this guy out. And for our final level 3, we have Sukaimon, who actually is a brand new addition to the deck, but once I started playing with him, I was like, oh, this guy's actually pretty good. He has the inheritable of once he's destroyed, gain 1 memory. So again, combos really well with Wizardmon, combos well with your Vilemon, because if your opponent if your opponent's on 0 energy, they can't attack into your Vilemon if he's underneath. It's super good. I threw him in there, and he's been really, really solid. So we have 18 rookies, which is quite a lot. I mean, we're not quite rookie rush numbers, but we are close for sure. And it has just been incredibly consistent and fun and low to the ground and relatively fast with a little bit of control. Going into the level 4s, we've got Wizardmon, who's probably the star of the level 4 slot. He has, don't worry about on both players turn thing. Like, we're not worried about we don't have any yellow Digimon in this deck, so you're not getting that effect. And then he has the when destroyed, draw 1. So if you combine this with the Gabumon, it's a draw 3, discard 1. Combine this with a Sukamon, it's a draw 1, get 1 memory. All sorts of good stuff. Vilemon, man, just we have a blocker. You need to have blockers right now in set 1.0 meta. There's no reason not to run it. Obviously, you don't want to attack with this card. However, I did attack with this card the other day for game uh, to give my opponent 2 memory. It would have ended the turn, but I mean it. I mean, you do it when you got to do it, right? And then we've got Devimon. So Devimon is just removal because he has Vengeance, and Vengeance is the way that it reads on the cards is when this card is destroyed by battle, you destroy the other Digimon, right? So you delete anything this thing fights with, right? And so you can attack into like an Omnimon with this and just kill it, which is really hilarious. But yeah, that's what he's there for, and he combos really well with some of the destruction effects like the Gabumon and the Sukamon and stuff like that. So that is our level 4 lineup. We've got 12 level 4s, which is, a moderate amount. I'd say that's about average. For level 5s, we have only one, and that's 4 copies of Chimeramon, and he exists here only to be a removal spell. That's what he exists here to be. He's here to come down. He'll pop one of our level 3s that does something when it dies, and then he will pop something on the opponent's turn. He's part of the reason why I think he's really good against it's part of the reason why I think the deck is like going to be tier 1 and why it's going to be one of the best decks in the format is because it deals with Omnimon really well. So when I was playtesting against Omnimon Blue, it would build to like a level 4 or level 5, and then obviously it would pass to my turn because I didn't give them enough energy to go to a 6. I didn't give them enough energy to go to like their Wergarumon or whatever, right? And so they would pass to me with a 5 on board, and I just go, okay, cool, here's my Chimeramon, and now your level 5 is just dead, and now you have to rebuild your entire chain, and I put a attacker on board, and what are you going to do? So there's Chimeramon's just great. Then for our final Digimon, we have Piedmon. Piedmon is the ultimate reanimation spell on a body. There's a lot of decks that just can't do anything against this card. Like, Piedmon just wins games sometimes. And yes, you might be giving your opponent a lot of energy, but if their board is relatively clear and you're giving them 10 energy, you don't care. Because if they're at 3 cards and you have a card already in your Digi-Edge zone, you play a Piedmon, you just win the game. They have to play a blocker or you win the game, and even then it's going to be so hard for them to get over the Piedmon, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Piedmon's super good. He also has Vengeance. Not that that matters too much for him because he's not cheap enough to. I mean, I guess you use him as a 3 mana spell, like removal spell every once in a while if you're smart about it. But you'd have to evolve him on top of a Chimeramon. So the Chimeramon would already have to be out. Then you have to evolve him and then attack him into something bigger or whatever. Next, we have 4 copies of the Mat. This card's just really good. Whenever you play it, it gets back any of your cards except for him. It gets back every other card in the deck. And then when it's revealed off security, you get to play him for free. And he has the static of, hey, do you have less than 3 memory? You get 3 memory on your turn, which is always good. Gets around Ricky Rush, and a whole bunch of other things that'll try to like starve you for value. We have Grizzly Wing, which is called Night Raid, I think, in the TCG. It's called Night Raid, I think, for us. And this card's insane. Two energy, 2 memory. Sorry, I keep saying energy and mana because I play Magic and I play DBS, but 2 memory to get back any of your 3 drops is pretty great value. And it's hilarious when it happens on your opponent's turn. Like, I had a game the other day where my opponent was attacking into me and they hit 2 Night Raids off the top of my life in a row, and it gave me lethal on board. So they then had to stop what they were doing and just throw a blocker out to not die, and I still ended up getting around it anyway. So yeah, I mean, it was insane. So definitely play 4 copies of Night Raid, especially if you're playing like a really low to the ground version. Like we are, like I said, we're playing 18 rookies, and so we have just so much value off this card. Next and finally, we have Trump Sword. I wasn't playing this at first because I thought it was a little too circumstantial. I thought it was a little too expensive, but it turns out this card is just kind of insane. Being able to kill any of your opponent's untapped things is just kind of dumb. And then if it's tapped, you can kill it with Devimon. Like, this deck has a lot of removal, and it's why I think the deck is really good. Trump Sword kills anything in attack position. Attack position. Yu-Gi-Oh terms now. Trump Sword kills anything that is not suspended. Night Raid gets all your guys back. Devimon can attack into something big that's rested and kill it. Chimeramon can kill anything as long as it's a 5 or less, and you've just got all this value out of your little guys. You get to play such tempo. Like, you can. There were so many games in testing where I left my opponent on 1 or 2 memory going into their turn where they could not keep up with my tempo. And that's why I think this deck is really good. I think it has a good matchup against Omnimon. I don't quite know how the Rookie Rush matchup. I don't know if it's 50-50 or if it's favored Rookie Rush or whatever. But it's just man, this deck feels amazing. Yellow isn't going to be super meta relevant until set 2, which is in February. So until February, we're probably going to have the run of the meta be a lot of purple. Black is pretty unrepresented. I think that green is the sleeper color for this set. I think that green actually has like some really good builds that it can play. You have the Kabuterimon stuff, and then you have Rust Tyrannomon, which I think is pretty slept on. And then it has Flower Cannon, which is one of the best option cards in the game, in my opinion. But this is what I will be playing in set 1.0. This will probably be my quote unquote competitive deck. I don't know if we'll have like competitive stuff, but if we do, this is what I will play. And yeah, I'll let you guys know how it goes. If I make any more changes to it, then I will obviously update it. But this is going to be my pet. This is going to be my baby in the TCG. I really liked the play style, and I really like a lot of the characters. So we're going to stick with it, guys. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying the Digimon card game as much as I am. We have product. This is Wednesday, the 25th, right now, and product comes out in 2 days. I'm gonna get some structure decks at my locals that that I promoted at the beginning of the video. I'm gonna go to my locals on Friday and pick up some structure decks and my boxes and stuff, and hopefully get some good things and build some good stuff. This being chiefly among it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a like, comment, tell me what you think about the deck. How are you playing purple? What decks are you playing? What decks do you want to see? I do have a black deck profile in the works. I gotta play test it a little bit before I actually throw it up on the channel. I don't want to do what I did with the first purple deck list and just go, oh, here's purple, here it is, without testing it, which is what I did. So we won't do that anymore, guys. But guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna stop rambling, and I'll see you guys in